Good morning and welcome back to Spurs Latest. I am your host, Trip Graham. Got so much to talk about, so much going on in basketball over the weekend. Got so much going on in NBA this week. Got also March Madness Championship coming up. A lot of storylines coming to a close in the NBA season. And the new storylines are coming up as we get into the playoffs. Out with old teams that aren't making the playoffs. See ya. Let's get into playoff mode because it is time. We got so much to talk about, but first I really want to talk about the battle of the juggernauts that happened this weekend. We got a rare loss. We don't often lose, but if we're gonna lose in fashions, it's gonna be like this. 136 to 134. The Denver Nuggets beat the Spurs over the weekend. After, we did have an unbelievable performance from Jokic and Wemby. Just crazy. First, Jokic had 40 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds against Wemby's 34 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. So, they just were going off against each other. It was Godzilla versus King Kong in this matchup. Jokic and Wemby is one of the best, matchups that you can see in NBA now. The most, the European matchup of the gods of Europe going up against each other. But we had a very all-game round performance. We could have had, Keldon Johnson hopefully step up a few more times. That didn't happen. But also, Luke Cornett didn't have a really good game at 13 points, 0 points. Stephon Castle did have a good game. Him, Fox, and Wemby all played 40 minutes. Stephon Castle just couldn't get the three ball going. 20 points, 9 of 17 from the floor, but 0 of 4 from the three, which is really tough. We did play a small lineup. Olynyk, Waters, Biyombo, Plumlee, and McLaughlin did not play, so we were treating this as a playoff game with, teammates getting 40 points, which doesn't happen a lot in the regular season. But Jokic did play more than anybody else on our team. He played a total of 44 minutes, 13 of 25 from the field, 1 of 5 from the three, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, just went off across the board, and 0 turnovers for Nikola Jokic in that game. So other things that come from this, where does that leave us? So this is a good, playoff preview if we get to a playoff series against the Nuggets to see what it's going to be like. Nuggets are definitely humming at the right time, which is good for them, bad for us. And I definitely expect to see a lot out of the Nuggets come this postseason, definitely. One big story to talk about, past this is just the Western opponents. Luka Doncic was announced that he is going to be injured. So, this came from, Shams. After consultations with Lakers doctor and his own medical team, Luka Doncic will seek specialized treatment in Europe on his grade 2 level hamstring injury in an attempt to expedite his return to play. So that was what his agent told the reporters yesterday. This is not good for Lakers. Luka has been on his game recently, just destroying the league. And him and Austin Reeves will both be missing the start of the playoffs, which is not good for the Lakers, especially with 41-year-old LeBron James being the main ball taker now. LeBron might get his wish. He might be playing Bronny come playoff time. So we will see. But that is the biggest news coming yesterday from the Lakers. Obviously, it was supposed to be like a week injury for Luka. That he's going to hopefully, be back in time for the playoffs. But now it looks like that will not be the case. And Luka will be missing at least the first round of the playoffs. Not good that he's going over to Europe either to try to get some medical attention for that. Probably some sketchy medical treatment. But, now LeBron has to carry the load by himself at 41 years old. He probably is, I think LeBron is a little half in of half out of basketball at this point of his career. I see him making the golf YouTube videos and everything, and I know just that's not the LeBron of old of what he would be doing, and come playoff time, it would definitely not be, release some golf videos. So, you know, that's okay. He can do whatever he wants with time. He's a multi-billionaire. That his 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the NBA. I feel like at this point of his career, he deserves it. But it does stink that LeBron doesn't look like he's taking his basketball as seriously as once did. Because I would never imagine LeBron used to go, 0 dark 30 of didn't even use his phone during the playoff runs. And now he's releasing YouTube videos with only 2 weeks to go till the NBA playoffs. So that kind of stinks. I don't like that from LeBron, but it's such a 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and he's like the old adage of like once you start playing golf, you're not, you're on the retired life. That's where I think LeBron is at right now. He's kind of in that retired life of picking up golf and really studying his game in golf. Doesn't seem like too interested in he's made a lot of comments about the NBA this past season, and it just does not seem like he is so locked in with the NBA as once was, and that does stink. I wish that he just decided to retire to go full in on his personality wise. That's one thing that I think that is LeBron is going to be so good in the second half of his career. Post NBA's, I think he's going to be a huge personality around, TV and the NBA, hopefully. But more than the NBA, I think he'll do a lot more YouTube videos like this and things like on golf channels and things like that. So it's cool from him, but it also stinks to see Lakers are needing to be now carried by LeBron James when he clearly is not, fully invested anymore. I can tell. Just not fully investment. Other things, Austin Reeves has been wildly successful for the Lakers. Losing that 3-point shooting is huge. So it's going to be on LeBron James and, his supporting cast of, Ayton, Marcus Smart. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be really, really tough for LeBron. And when a player is not fully invested in the NBA, it's really tough to win. So that's what I'm seeing with LeBron. The Bob Does Sports Golf LeBron. We're at the stage of LeBron's career where it's golf LeBron, which kind of stinks. I'm not going to lie. It really does stink that LeBron is focusing on releasing golf videos when he should be focusing on getting right for the NBA playoffs. Just not a good timing thing. I'm not a fan of it as an NBA fan. Good content. Probably won't ever watch it. But wish he was doing this when the playoffs were over, or when he got even fake it and just release it when he gets eliminated from the playoffs. I would have at least like that. All right, next thing I want to talk about, just not just trashing LeBron all day, is Cooper Flagg has scored 90 points, 90 plus points in the last 2 games, scored 50 points, and then another 40 where he beat LeBron the other day. Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks beat LeBron to, after 40 points wasn't enough for LeBron. So if he can't even beat the Mavericks with Cooper Flagg, that's a bad, bad sign come playoff time, because much bigger competition come playoff time than Cooper Flagg. Don't get me wrong, Cooper Flagg is unbelievable, but he's not making playoffs this year because that Mavericks team stinks. Hopefully Cooper Flagg can do really good in his career. He's showing every single sign he's going to be a star. And he's a teenager, which is just ridiculous. He's not even going to hit his peak for 5 years. 19-year-old teenager. So, yeah, he's not even going to hit his peak 24, 25, 26, 27. So, Cooper Flagg, shout out him. I'm really looking forward to his career. Putting on for the main event, as they call him. So, shout out Cooper Flagg. Really looking for that one. It looks like Cooper Flagg is going to beat out Colin Knippel for Rookie of the Year. Just killing it in this down the stretch. So really, really looking forward to that. All right, the last thing in terms of that is the MVP race is coming down to the wire. Our 4 MVP candidates are SGA, who has got a big, big lead in the MVP race. Then our boy Wemby, who absolutely deserves the MVP. Come on, most valuable player, it's Wemby. Third is Jokic. Again, talking about valuable player. I'm putting both of them over SGA. I'm sorry. That team is so talented over on the Thunder. I got to put who is the most talented player, most deserving player of this is Wemby, then Jokic, then SGA, and then Brown. Cade Cunningham off the list, doesn't make the 65 game threshold. So I put, number one is definitely Wemby. Number two, Jokic. Number three, SGA. Number four, Brown. Just my thoughts. But we'll see. We will see. Looking forward to when they announce that. All right, next thing I want to talk about is that we do have a game tonight. It is the national championship game. We're going to talk about that, but we do have a game tonight against the 76ers. Take on Tyrese Maxey in the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey has just had an unbelievable season, averaging 28.6 points. Obviously they don't have a lot of scoring over on that team. Paul George has been out at a very extended time. He's come back. He's been playing very well for the 76ers. But Maxey has had to step up in that time frame. He's averaging 28.6 points a game on 46% free field goal shooting, 40%, 89% from the free throw line. Drummond still playing a great style of basketball. He's always played his style of basketball, and he's their top rebounder on their team, averaging 8 points over 3 offensive rebounds a game, very well. 3.1 offensive rebounds a game, which is unbelievable. And yeah, we play them tonight. Looking forward to that game. 76ers. They're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a low-seeded playoff team, 43-35. And they're going to go as far as Maxey and Embiid and Paul George carries them. So we will see how that turns out. Very much looking forward to this matchup with Wemby. Wemby averaging about 25 points and 11 rebounds. Our MVP, no matter what, if he wins MVP, he has had the most successful Spurs season since the Kawhi Leonard 2016 season. So, as much as if he doesn't win MVP, he's our MVP, no doubt about it. So, absolutely shout out Wemby, shout out our coaching staff and our organization for putting this team together, because this is the most fun we've had as Spurs fans since 2016. Wemby is just a killer. He's a killer out there, and it's been so impressive to watch it every single stage. So other things going on tonight, though, our game is definitely not the biggest game of the night. Obviously it's really big for coming down to the wire. But we do have the national championship game tonight. We got great game. Michigan versus UConn. Michigan was unbelievable. Lights out shooting versus Arizona. It looked like they just couldn't miss a shot. It was unbelievable how good they were being. Arizona has been a juggernaut all season. And Koa Pete is going to be a future NBA star. I believe he's going to be really good in the NBA. Arizona's Koa Pete. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough matchup for UConn tonight. UConn has just been playing that mentality of you have to kill them 100 times in a basketball game. In that game against Illinois, it looks like Illinois was gonna start pulling back, but UConn would not give it up. So really fun matchup. They didn't trail the entire game against Illinois. After being down for 99% of the game against Duke and then pulling off that crazy upset buzzer beater. Braden Mullins had another great game for UConn, and I'm going to need to see a much better game out of Alex Karaban if we are going to win the national championship with UConn tonight. So really looking forward to Alex Karaban's play. Braden Mullins and Reed is enforced in the paint for UConn. Really fun player to watch. So let's go UConn. Going to be a really, really fun night. But yeah, Michigan is just a complete team. It doesn't seem like they have any weaknesses. They can shoot the lights out of the ball. They don't miss the ball. They don't miss many shots. They get a lot of offensive rebounds. UConn doesn't turn the ball over at all. They're coached perfectly. So, this is going to be a really good team. I do see, Michigan definitely will have the edge in terms of, players. But I think in terms of playing style, in terms of how they are coached, how that team comes together, I think UConn has the edge. So I'm going UConn Huskies for the win. Well, that's all I have from Spurs latest today. Go Yukon Huskies tonight. We got our Spurs game at the same time. We're going 2 TV setups. So go Spurs, go, and I'll catch you in the next one.